Good thing I was there all by myself. I was been there talking for 7 minutes with no audio because there was nobody online to tell me I had no audio. I forgot to unmute the microphone. How do you like that? I'll tell you. See what happens when you're here all by yourself and you don't double and triple check everything? But now I can see my audio on OBS. I probably should have checked that out. That would have been the smart thing to do. Maybe that's why the stream wasn't working before. It was buffering and stuff. I don't know why it was doing that. Who knows? That could have just been simply a YouTube thing. Sometimes when you go to connect these things, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. Most times they do work. But we'll see now if anybody actually shows up for the live stream. The health says it's okay. The audio seems like it's coming in okay. So we will see. We shall see. As a matter of fact, maybe I'm going to pull up Studio One here in a minute. Just so I'm going to see my laptop so I can make sure that the audio actually works okay. Put my headphones on, although I probably don't need to do that. We'll play that back in a minute or two. So is anybody out there in YouTube TV land? Maybe, maybe not, right? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see how it goes. At least now I have audio. So this is with the new Sigma lens, or the different Sigma lens, where I'm using a little bit higher aperture, 1.8, but I was able to turn the ISO down quite a bit. And now using the two new aperture lights, again, side by side, and I've also now added some backlighting at somebody's suggestion to separate me from the background and turn them down kind of low. And what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at a fairly crisp looking video. At least it looks like on my end. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Yeah, the Studio One thing doesn't seem to matter all that much because it's a dark screen. I also had changed the background on my desktop, where before it had kind of a blue sky background, which was leaving a blue tint on my face. I didn't think about that. But now I've changed that so it works better. So I got two people here. Who is here? Who is here? Somebody tell me who's here, that I'm not here all by myself, just talking to myself. This last minute live stream gear test. Let's see. Two people watching. There should be someone else out there. I shouldn't be here by myself. Hey, Tyler, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in the chat room. Again, just doing a last minute kind of a live stream gear test for the big show that's coming on Saturday. Hey, Alex, what's up, bro? How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry about the late notice, or you actually didn't get any notice. You probably just got a notification that I'm live. I wanted to check out a couple of more things on the equipment side of doing this live stream coming up on Saturday, and I figured I'd jump on here and just run a couple of more tests, and I'm glad I did, because I realized for the first 5 minutes I didn't have any audio because I forgot to unmute the microphone. Silly me. And I wanted to get all the settings and everything right. So, cool. Doing good, Tyler. That's good, man. That's good. Thanks. Who else is here? Got a third person here. I know people will start coming in. And then the other thing I didn't realize I did, guys, is I realized that the privacy on my live stream was set to unlisted for the first 5 minutes I was sitting here. So until I made it public, a public live stream, you never even would have known I would have been here. So I would have been sitting here all night talking to myself. I'll tell you. So cool. So how's everybody doing? So how's the video look? Tyler and Alex, does it look okay? I've done some different things. I don't know if you were around for the last two live streams that I did. You might have been. We're talking about the new gear setup and some of the stuff, and I've been really working on the video quality. Stepped up from a cheap webcam to a pretty high-end DSLR camera with some good lenses, trying to get a much more professional look. So I'm not sure how it's coming across on YouTube. It looks pretty good on my screen here as I'm looking at it, but you never know how it's coming through in TV land. So if you would let me know, that'd be good. 5 people here now. All right, people are starting to come in. People are starting to come in. Now, I know the live stream says March 23rd, 6 p.m. That's this Saturday. So this was just kind of jumping on here to, again, double and triple checking all of the the way the live stream is going to work for Saturday. Just wanted to make sure I have everything. Tyler says, this is my first live stream with you. Well, welcome, Tyler. Yeah, the name didn't sound familiar, but sometimes people change their handles, so I don't know. But hey, good to have you, man. Thanks for joining. Yeah, make sure that you always, hit that notification bell when you subscribe. So when I do go live, if I don't give you, notice up front, you'll actually get notified that I'm here on YouTube, and you can just kind of click over if you're not busy. Alex says, yes, video looks great. Nice depth of field. Thanks, Alice. Man, I've been working on it. I've been working with the camera settings. I got even a different lens on here now, working with the lighting. And I've also now added some lighting. I used to be very dark and black behind me, and someone had suggested to get some backlighting back there just to kind of separate me from the background. I guess it's kind of a lighting trick. So I did that. And though you should have a nice blurry background there for the depth of field. So it's working good. So it's, as long as the video looks good and it looks pro, that's what I care about at this point. Baby steps. And then what else we got going on? Yeah, you'll also notice that the screen looks a little bit different. I'm trying to dress things up a little bit and make things look a little bit more professional. So that's always good. I got a bunch of different screens that I can switch to with a nice little gadget that I found here called the Elgato Stream Deck. I might even be able to show you what it is. Can I pick this up? I don't know. It's attached by a USB cable. Let me see if I can put this in front of the camera. I don't know if I can get enough. No, I'm not going to be able to. It's kind of tied down. But anyway, it's a little gadget, a little 15 button gadget that I can. I programmed all the different OSB screens or OBS screens that I'm using. So if I want to switch and transition from one shot to another, I can do it at the touch of a button. So that's pretty cool. So for example, if you've seen, as you guys care about this stuff, this is kind of the main shot that you guys will see. The main kind of screen here with me just kind of talking to you. But on Saturday, for example, I'm going to you'll come to the live stream and you'll see this screen here. So you'll still hear me, but you're going to see that this is our kind of our intro screen. This is what's going to be happening on Saturday. We're going to be doing a live stream, doing some mixing. This is our please stand by. And then we also have another screen here. Nice little transition. This is the live mixing tutorial we're going to do on Saturday. Actually, that slide says Sundays at 6, but actually it's Saturdays at 6. I need to fix that. And the song we're going to be doing is correct. The name of the song is Santa Fe by Fruition is the name of the band. And then I can come back to the main shot here and you'll see me here in the camera, which is cool. And then we can also, which is really kind of nice, we can go to this kind of a shot where we got the live chat room. Look at that. Got the YouTube chat room on the screen with me for questions and answers, which is always kind of cool, although I want to change that background to a different color. And then let's say we wanted to have a Skype call or an interview coming in at one point or another, which we'll do. We'll go to this shot here and we'll have me on the left, and then where you see Studio One now would be our Skype caller, which is cool. And then when we get to Studio One, you're going to see something that looks like this. And there's Studio One all cranked up and ready for you to go. And then if I want to come into the picture, I can come into the picture there, which is kind of cool. And then when the show ends, at the ending of this live stream, we're going to have this here, our little end screen there. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, right? So we got all kinds of technology happening here, man, on this little gadget. Again, if you're into live streaming and you want to know what this is, it's called the Elgato, is the name of the company. The Stream Deck. Stream Deck, 2 words. It's a little programmable desktop unit, little controller to control all the switching transitions inside of your live streaming software. Mine happens to be OBS. And then also on Saturday, you can go ahead and you can hit this. And we have some scrolling text that comes up on the bottom of the screen. How do you like those apples? Right? Where we can have coupon codes. I'm going to be running a coupon code on some specials on my training courses on Saturday. It'll be scrolling along the bottom of the screen, so you can check out that information, which is really cool. And then I can get rid of that just by hitting that button. So I'm trying to tie all this stuff together and just trying to get things to look as professional as possible, get things to work kind of seamless so I can put on and give you guys some really cool live training like we're going to do Saturday, and I'm not fumbling around with the technology. It all kind of works. So that's what we're kind of doing. So I've been doing this now for 18 minutes, and everything seems to be running okay. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to chat about, you can hit me up. You know, I'll answer anything for you guys. I'm only going to stay on here for probably 30 minutes tops, and then I'm going to take off. I just wanted to do this live test. And then if you want, I'll even play back a little bit of the song that we're going to mix on Saturday, which we have not mixed yet. So anything else? You got anything you guys want to talk about? Any questions you have? Now would be the time to ask. There's only 6 people here, but again, there was no notice, so people don't know I'm even here, which is totally fine. So if you have any questions at all, let's see. Alex says, have you not been streaming much? I've been watching Johnny Gibe's channel because he has streams most nights, but I haven't seen your streams. Guess I missed them. No, I really haven't been streaming much, Alex. This is new. I was doing them every once in a while. I'm not doing a show every night like Johnny Gibe does. I think for me, I don't have the time to do that, and I don't have enough information to give you to be doing nightly live streams. But I'm going to try to get on a weekly schedule. Like I said, I'm going to try as much as humanly possible, at least over the next 3 or 4 weeks, to do a Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. And for the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to take this song. Each week I'm going to mix a different part of the song, different set of different groupings of instruments, show you some techniques, show you some different ways of doing things, do a Q&A session at the end. And we'll do that over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. And over that time, we'll mix the entire song, or I'll mix it for you, and we'll use some new plugins and stuff. And then beyond that, we're going to see what we can do for just a weekly live stream. So right now, all I'm really committing to is a weekly show. I certainly can't do a nightly show like Johnny does. But yes, I haven't been doing much of them. Every once in a while, I would pop on here. But there were so many other aspects of Home Recording Made Easy I was trying to tend to. And now with mixingmadeeasy.net, that live streaming last year just wasn't possible. There was too much for me to do. But now it's, you know, I've gotten a lot of things set up and a lot of things automated where I can do more live interaction with you guys. And I want to do that because I feel like a lot of people get a lot of benefit from that. And we'll see how it goes. If over the next 3 or 4 weeks, nobody really shows up and it's just a couple of people, then I may not continue to do them. I'll have to see how it goes. But I'm hoping that we can, because I think it would be great. But yeah, nightly show's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, but thanks for asking. Who else is here? We got 6 people here. It seems like only a couple people in the chat room. So there's 4 other people that are holding out on me. So let me know. Alex says it sounds great. Cool. Glad you like it. And so that'll be good. That'll be good. Who else is showing up? There might be another live stream going on right now, and that's where everybody is. That could be possible. I don't know what time Johnny Gibe does his live stream. I know he's on a different time zone than I am, so I'm not quite sure. But I'm here. I'm here. Guess what I can do is I can give you guys a quick listen. Maybe you guys let me know how the audio is on Studio One. So let me switch over to Studio One and the picture-in-picture here. So this song we're going to start mixing on Saturday, as I said. All I've done to this point is just import the files. This is kind of an Americana kind of a song. This is by the group Fruition, and the name of the song is Santa Fe. So I'll give you a quick listen. Let me put my headphones on. Hey, okay, let me put my headphones on and we'll play this back and let me know how it sounds. Hey, Malcolm, what's up, bro? Okay, here's the song we're going to work on what day? Saturday. Here we go. Here's a little sneak peek. Okay, so that's what we're going to be mixing next week, or Saturday night. That's what we're going to mix. We're going to work on that song. We'll start with, week 1 will be the drums, and then maybe week 2 will be the bass and the guitars, and then week 3 maybe be the keyboards and the vocals. And then we'll do some stuff with like parallel compression. We'll do some stuff with effects, reverbs, delays, all that stuff. So we'll do kind of a full-on mix over the course of the next 3 weeks, and that's the song we're going to be mixing. So I hope you found that pretty cool. Hopefully it sounded okay. Don't know how the audio was, the Studio One audio turned out for that, but that's kind of what we're doing. So yeah, so I hope you found that cool. Hope that's a song you guys all kind of dig. I like the song. It's a great little song. Let's see who's here now. Let's see. Hey, Malcolm's here. Hey, Malcolm, what's up, bro? Thanks for stopping by. Again, we're just doing a last-minute live stream test. I've changed around some of the things on OBS. You can see I dressed up the screen a little bit. We got a chat room now. We got a bunch of social media icons. We got all kinds of stuff, which is going to be pretty cool. Got a bunch of different, shots and scenes and screens and show you guys some different things. And so got most of the video dialed in, I think. Everyone's saying that the video's looking pretty good. I think it's the best it's looked so far since I've been doing this. I'm really trying to tweak it in. And it's going to be really neat, man. So I'm glad you're here. Alex says he was hoping to stay for the stream. He's got to go pick up his mom. He's going to watch the save upload. Have a good evening, Dave. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Alex, man. Go pick up your mom. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. I'm not going to be here very long. We only got a few people here. This was just, once again, just to run through some last minute things to make sure everything with the stream is working good, making sure everything looks the way I want it to look, and that'll be cool. So it'll be really nice. Hopefully people will be interested in this, and we could turn this into a weekly show where we get a bunch of people show up and learn something. That's what I'm hoping. So again, Saturday night, this Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Come join me. That you'll see right in the title of it, March 23rd, 6 p.m. We'll do a live stream, and we'll do some mixing, and we'll talk about some things, and then over the course of the next few weeks we'll do a whole bunch of different things. But I want to try to make this live streaming a lot more educational for you, so that'll be cool. Hey, Woodbeast, you're here. What's up? Dave, you do a class act, man. Hey, man, thanks, brother. That's awfully nice of you. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Live streaming is still not something that I do a ton of, but I really want to do more of that this year. I really want to. I really think I'd like to do a lot more live training as opposed to just all pre-recorded training, which is cool. The recorded stuff is cool, but the live stuff is better because I can interact with you guys in real time and try to help you in real time, which is the goal. Malcolm says it looks and sounds good from here, but I'm close. I hear you. Woodby says 1080 is clear. Yep, this is going up in 1080. No, this is going up in it's going up in 1920 by 1080. Even though I'm shooting it in 4K, it's going up in 1920 by 1080 because that seems to be the best where I'm not getting any buffering or any kind of delay issues. It's kind of running smooth. And so for YouTube, that should be pretty good. If you blow it up on a 57-inch or 50-inch TV set, it may look a little bit, the resolution may not be great, but for, normal laptops, desktop screens, it should be pretty clear. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it all is, being shot in 4K anyway. Let's see. Woodby says you should, not just basics. Yeah, we're gonna do some more stuff than just basic stuff. We're gonna get to that. I have some some more advanced training products, as you know, but the majority of my audience is basics, believe me. And so I got to make sure that we cater to them as much as possible. I don't want to go over everybody's head, but at the same time, I want to start introducing some other types of things that unless you purchase the more advanced products, you haven't been introduced to yet. And so we're gonna do that. Like I said, we're gonna talk about things like early reflections. We're gonna talk about the 3D sound field. We're gonna talk about some of those terms. And some people are gonna be a little bit behind. That's okay. I'm gonna try to train you guys in real time and try to bring people up to speed. Let's see. Woodby says I just built a new PC Core i9, 32 gig, etc. Hey man, that's cool. I'm not a PC guy, but I know lots of guys that are. And you could get a really nice custom-built, rocking computer for a very reasonable amount of money. Unfortunately for me, I'm a Mac guy, and I'm so used to the Mac ecosystem that it would be hard for me to switch at this point in my life. But no, that's great, man. If you sounds like you got a pretty, great processor, lots of RAM. You should have no problems doing anything you want to do audio related. And with a machine like that, you could probably even do some video related stuff as well. So that's really cool. But yeah, the Macs are they're more really geared towards video production, which is more and more what my business is really kind of becoming. It's becoming equally as important video as it is audio, oddly enough. But I'm still rocking a Mac Pro from 2013. I'm still, the little black trash can, and so I'm waiting for the new ones to come out, and I'm hearing they're going to be released or at least announced in 2019. Probably won't be available till 2020. So I'm going to take a look at those and see what those are all about and whether or not I'm going to make an upgrade. For the audio side, I don't need to make an upgrade, not at all. But for the video side, the more I get into the video, the more, the computer and some of the older hardware starts to get a little long in the tooth. Although, like what we're doing right now, I mean, we're shooting in 4K and, we're streaming live, and with Studio One, and the computer's handling it just fine. So we'll have to see. But I wondered if I tried to do, multiple cameras and stuff, that's where I think my computer would have an issue at this point. But, again, baby steps, baby steps. So what else is going on? Anything else? Any other questions? Anything that anyone wants to ask? Now's the time to do it. We've been on here almost 30 minutes. And we'll sit on here a few more minutes. The stream looks like it's running fine on my computer here. And as you guys said, the video looks good. While I'm looking at the stream on YouTube, it looks pretty good. What reflections you're seeing on my face are kind of from my laptop sitting so I can see the chat room. I could probably dim that down a little. Although, the chat room's on the screen, but I can't read it from that far. So it doesn't do me much good, does it? Would-be says, Macs are okay. They're too proprietary for me. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way, man. I hear you. And I don't even disagree with you necessarily. But once you're in the Mac ecosystem and you have Macs throughout your house like I do, and you have iPhones and iWatches and iPads, the ecosystem's pretty nice. And for someone like me, the proprietary stuff really doesn't bug me for what I do, but a lot of PC guys that want to do a lot more technical stuff, they find Macs challenging because it is very proprietary, and you just can't run anything on a Mac. It's not as open as like a Windows box is or PC, so I totally understand that. But for me personally, I don't have any limitations as far as the Mac goes for what I do. And like I said, I'm so into it now for so many years. To switch to a PC would be very, very difficult. But the Macs are a lot more pricey. Although, if you bought the same spec'd out PC or built, I guess if you built it yourself, it would be different. But if you bought a pre-built high-end spec'd out PC to match the same specs that I have in a Mac, they're relatively close in price, within a few $100, because I've done that comparison before. But a lot of PC guys, and maybe would-be's, you're one of these cats, they build the computer themselves. They buy the components and they configure it and build it themselves. And then if you do it that way, yeah, it's far less money to run a PC, for sure. If you're inclined and have the skill set and the know-how and the desire to do that. And I'm sure anybody can do it if you wanted to take the time to learn. But if you just want to plug and play, and you bought, a Mac or a Mac Pro, and then looked at the specs of that and tried to make that equivalent in a PC, you're relatively close in price. Relatively close in price. At least that's what I've seen in my research in the past. Malcolm says, Dave, are the Gumroad videos still available? Yes, of course they are. But why would you ever want to go to Gumroad and buy something? You can get it cheaper on my website and it's all inside of your account. But yes, the Gumroad videos that you may have, Malcolm, purchased many years ago are still there. If you had an account set up, they're still there. You can access them. You can download them right from there. I never took any of that stuff down. But what I did do, and I'm sure I did this for you because you've been around a long time, is any course that you bought on Gumroad, I migrated that over to your Home Recording Made Easy account. So all your training courses from the past, the present, and then anything you purchase in the future are all in one place. But the answer to your question is yes. Let's see. Slide 85. Hey, Slide, what's up, bub? Did I miss the mixing tutorial? No, that's Saturday night. This, I know it says it's Saturday. Look at the date on it. This was just a last minute. I wanted to jump on and double check all the equipment and all the upgrades I did to make sure everything looks and runs properly. That's it. So no, you didn't miss anything, my friend. I'm just doing a test here. Saturday night, 6 p.m. That's when the mixing is going to commence. So hopefully you can make it. That'd be great. Let's see. Woodbeast. Dave, is that cool Macs have a place? I don't know what that means. That is cool Macs have a place. I don't know what that means. Deer Creek Audio's here. Hey, Deer Creek, what's up, brother? Let's see. Malcolm. Okay, so I'll just have to go there then. Malcolm, I can get you anything you purchased on Gumroad into your other account. You just send me an email. Tell me what you need. I'll take care of you. Or you could go to Gumroad, whatever you want to do. I'm here to help you, brother. Let's see. Deer Creek says, is he streaming 4K or 1080? Right now, it's running up in 1080. It's running off the camera 4K. Hits OBS and it's going up 1920 by 1080 because that seems to be the smoothest way it's operating. So it's not really showing in 4K on YouTube, the way I understand it. But hopefully it looks okay. Hopefully it looks okay. Malcolm says, I have a gig Saturday. Cool, man. But I'll watch it later. Yeah, it'll be recorded. You can watch it later. No, not a problem. Yeah, so that's cool. Very cool. Hey, good luck with your gig. Have fun with it. Who the hell's calling me? Every time I get on here, the phone starts ringing. I'm going to shut that off. There we go. Any other questions? We got about 9 people here. I'm only going to stay a few more minutes because I just wanted to test some stuff out. So cool. So if you missed it, we have a whole bunch of different, oops, let me get back to my, come on. I mean, sometimes the scrolly thing does not work on this Mac Pro. I don't know what the heck it's going on, but that's okay. There, I got it now. Deer Creek says your last vid had the same video quality. Yes, it did. Background might be a tad blurry. Personal opinion. I understand it's popular with photo dudes. Yeah, it's just a different lens, so it's going to be a little bit more of a blurrier background. Yeah, it's just because of the way the aperture's set. But yeah, because it is running in 1080. Because when I stream it in 4K to OBS, it seems to get a little jittery for some reason. And again, I don't know why that is. But as long as it's clear and it looks good, for now, that's what I'm really just shooting for. It's just from looking at it myself on the screen, it's probably some of the best video I've ever done in live streaming. When I go back and look at stuff where I was using the webcam, it's way different. It's still not perfect by any means, but I'm working on it. Let's see. What is this? BDRM Live Recording Studio. Shout out from the Philippines. How are you guys? Hey, man, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. So yeah, so we have a couple of different kind of scene. Even now I'm having some issues with this little stream deck. A couple of new screens here. So we have this little screen with our chat room up here, which is kind of cool. And then we have kind of another scene here that we're going to have and program some scrolling text for some coupon codes I'll give out for courses on Saturday, which I want to turn off for now. When we have a Skype caller come in, we'll have kind of a Skype screen. Then when we do Studio One, we'll kind of do this deal like you guys saw a few minutes ago. And then we can go back to one of these screens here. So got a couple of different shots here. Deer Creek says the video quality is excellent. You should be pleased. I mean, it's still not as good as some of these cats I see on YouTube, man. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I've done a lot of playing around with the picture profiles in this new Sony camera. And doing everything in manual. This time I'm using another Sigma lens. I got an ISO now turned down quite a bit. Last time too, I also had the ISO turned up a little bit more than I should have. So I've lowered the ISO. I've changed the background on my desktop so I'm not getting this wicked glare on my face. So, I'm doing okay. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. It'll continually improve. Let's see. Woodby says, Dave looks great on my TV. Cool, man. You got to go. Take care. All right, Woodbeast, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you on Saturday, man. If not, watch the replay. You're right. It'll be recorded. You'll be able to see it. Deer Creek says, what is the SM7 plugged into? How much gain does the pre have? Nice audio too. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, on the SM7, you have to plug into what's called the, not the iCloud, the Cloud Lifter. It's kind of a way to lift the signal up before it hits the preamp. The preamp is just a Universal Audio Apollo pre. But with this particular microphone, you have to have the Cloud Lifter in front of it to boost it up. It's not like Phantom Power. It's a little different than that. And it makes this mic work really well. And it's just going straight into the Universal Audio Apollo. Although I am running it through a plugin. I am running it through the API Vision channel strip as well. So it's a combination of those three things that makes the audio sound pretty good. So that's really cool. And so, yeah, so I've been using this mic forever and I love it. It just sounds good. It's got there's no, no fuss, no muss. It just sounds good. And I've had it for a long time and I just like it. So I just keep it. So that's that. So that is it, man. Any other questions? I love the fact that we have a chat room on the screen, but OBS is so far away from me. I can't read it. I have to read it on my laptop. So that really doesn't help me. It's more of an aesthetic thing, I suppose, for you guys. I'd like to change the background. So the background of that chat is black and not white. Oh yeah, you run your RE20 into the, yeah, it's called the Cloud Lifter. That's right, Cloud Lifter. Yeah. Great little device, the Cloud Lifter. Or Cloud, not Crowd, Cloud Lifter. And yeah. Yeah, I looked at the RE20s. That's another fantastic broadcast mic. A lot of people use that as well. I don't know what made me settle on this. Probably at the time, it was probably price. I just don't remember. But I know the RE20 is an awesome mic as well, and that would have been my next choice to this one. I actually looked at it and decided to go with this one for whatever reason. So it's it works though. But the RE20 is great. Great microphone. Yeah, and that's it, man. That's all that's going on. We even have now what I found in the super chat, some donate. So if people find my training going forward of helpful to them, you can actually make a donation, which would be really cool. Really, it would be really nice if somebody did that as we're going forward. You can do this thing with the super chat where you can hit this little $ in the chat room right beneath where you write your comment, and you can make a donation of any denomination of your choice to help support the Home Recording Made Easy live stream channel. So that would be really nice if somebody, if some people wanted to do that. If they find, obviously you got to find the training helpful and it's useful to you, please, support the effort. You don't have to, but if you want to, it would be most appreciated. But that's really more for Saturday. And that's cool. That's cool, man. So I think that's it. Anyone else got any last minute questions? Let's see. We got one coming in. Is it possible to have parallel compression while recording? One clean and one with a bit of compression at the same time? Sure it is. There's many ways to do it. You can have two separate audio tracks, channel one being the clean one, let's say, input one, channel one, and then, or you have your mic going into, let's say, your channel one on your interface. Have two audio tracks, both set to input one. Set them up with different plugins, one clean, one more compressed. You can do that. You can also, if you have compression or a compressor that has a mix knob on it to allow you to do parallel compression, you can do that. You could do it on the way in. I normally do it after the fact, but it can be done. Absolutely. You can do it. Deer Creek says, OBS allows you to put the chat on the screen now. That's a little hack that I learned from, again, doing a lot of YouTube research myself on people that do chats. It's a special, it's a unique code that the answer to your question obviously is yes, you see it on the screen, right? So, but there's a code and a special way to set it up. If you YouTube search, Deer Creek, live chat, live YouTube chat with OBS or something to that configuration. There's 5 or 6 videos you'll see right away. Shows exactly how to do this. So it's pretty cool. And there's even a way, this is just a straight YouTube chat room. Obviously it looks the same. There's even a way to go in and alter the code to make the background a different color so it doesn't pop out so much, make the fonts bigger so it's a little bit more easy to read for people. I just haven't gotten that far yet. But yeah, pretty cool, right? I thought it was pretty neat. Cool little thing. People can see the chat in real time on the screen. Pretty nice. Let's see. BTN Studios. Hey, brother, what's going on? Oops, I missed it. I was thinking 6 Central Time. No, that's Saturday night, man. I didn't change. If you look at the headline, it's March 23rd. Today's March 20th. I just, again, jumped on late to do the kind of a last-minute gear test. So you didn't miss anything. And will I be posting the video? Well, I'll post tonight's video for sure. And the one you're watching now, and then the mix tutorial after it's done on Saturday. Yes, that'll be posted on YouTube for people to watch, at least for the first 3 or 4 weeks when we're mixing this one song. Depending on the turnout, depending on the participation, and a few other factors, I may not post them after the fact. It might be more just live stuff for people that want to join me live, and then they go unlisted. Not really sure. I'm still working out some of those details. Deer Creek says, thanks, glad your video is improving. The Sony worthy, looks great. Yeah, thanks, Deer Creek. Yeah, the Sony's great. Honestly, I didn't buy the Sony because I didn't like the way the Canon shot video. The Canon video is fantastic on my 80D. I think I said a couple of weeks ago, the single reason I switched to the Sony, it has a clean HDMI out. So if you want to use it as a webcam like I'm using it, if you use a Canon as a webcam, you get all the display of the autofocus box over your face and all the information from the screen on. It's not a clean HDMI out, so you can't really use it as a webcam without having all the display information. On my particular Canon, that was the single biggest reason why I switched cameras was the clean HDMI. Picture quality or video quality, the Sony versus the Canon, to be honest with you, Deer Creek, to my untrained eye, they both look great. One's not really better than another. It's all in the lens. And I'm using the same lens on this Sony camera that I was using on my Canon. This one is the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter, 1.8 continuous aperture. And it looks fine. I mean, so, you know, if I had a clean HDMI out on the Canon, I would have stuck with the Canon 80D, because the Canon 80D is a wonderful camera for other things. If you're not looking to use the HDMI port and you're looking to record internally to the SD card on the camera, it's great. But if you want to use HDMI as your source of the signal being recorded, it's not clean on that camera. That's why I did it. So now there are some Canon cameras that do give you clean HDMI out, but there's some limitations. Some of the more expensive ones, yes, they have HDMI out, but only if you turn off autofocus, which really kind of sucks. So if you're not sitting in a perfectly stationary position and you move left to right or whatever, you know, not that I'm moving that much here, but I use my camera for more than just using it as a webcam. I use it for other live recording things, and I gotta have autofocus. To me, that's just, I don't know, it's the must for me. Some people can get away with it. For me, I want to have autofocus. So if you turn off autofocus with HDMI on some of those Canon cameras, you will get clean HDMI out, but you sacrifice the autofocus. But most of their cameras, they're not clean HDMI out. They're not. Panasonic is, the Sony is, and there's probably some other ones that are as well. And I looked at the Panasonic GH5 as opposed to the Sony because it was a little bit cheaper than the Sony, and it seems to have a little bit more history. It's a little bit older of a camera. But the one thing I kept seeing on YouTube about the GH5 was everyone said the autofocus isn't very good, that the Canon autofocus is like the best in the business, and the 1 second closest to it that's almost equally as good is the new Sony autofocus on the A series. And that everyone bitched about the Panasonic focus not being very good. And I've seen YouTubers do side by side with the Panasonic GH5 and the Sony A7 III, which is what I have, and the Panasonic autofocus is not very good. And I said, I'm not spending, you know, $1,500 on a camera if the autofocus sucks. I just don't see why I would do that. And again, there's other more expensive options. But for me, you know, this is like the top of my budget. It was even more than I really wanted to spend. This camera was a little over $2,000 with the kit lens, where when I bought my Canon 80D, it was about $800. So I spent double what my Canon 80D was, and I really didn't want to spend more than that. I just couldn't. And so this is a good solution for me. And now I can use it as a webcam for live streaming. I also now use them. My last two YouTube videos, the one on the kick drum and the one on the Audified bass plugin, both of those YouTube videos were shot. My face cam is shot with the Sony. And all my mixing training courses, all of mixingmadeeasy.net, all of that stuff will be filmed with this. So I'm going to get multiple uses out of this. And then I can also use this to do continuous recording of my bands and on location. And I don't have any limitations anymore around the length of time I can record continuously and or the clean HDMI thing. So it is quite a bit more money, but it really doesn't limit me at all now where the Canon did. So hope that makes sense. Deer Creek says, I use a Canon camcorder, not a big sensor like a DSLR, but a huge jump over a Logitech. Oh yeah, the camcorders will, the Logitech cameras, I mean, even again, I have a Logitech webcam. I used it for a long time. And if you got the right lighting and stuff, it could look okay. It's for 60 or 70 bucks or 80 bucks. It's, you know, but a camcorder is a big difference. But you said it, the sensor isn't as big. So when you're in low light, like I kind of am here, it makes a big difference. But it is a step up above the Logitech cameras. But I use the Logitech webcam for 4 years. Every one of my training courses, everything I've ever done live, all my YouTube videos were all shot with that. And it worked. I mean, it was okay. But it was time to upgrade, you know? Super Pasquale 76. Hi, David. Glad to see you. Do you still work with the Studio Live and do you love it? No, I don't work with the Studio Live. I did love it, but I sold it. The short story is because the Studio Live in my particular workflow in my studio, is, as it pertains particularly to integrating hardware and doing things like analog summing, it just didn't work right. It just didn't fit into my workflow. Fantastic mixer. If you're looking for just DAW control and you need inputs and use it as an interface and you're not trying to do anything really outside of the mixer or integrating external pieces to it easily, then the Studio Live is fantastic. If you're going to take it live on location for performance purposes, can't beat it. Great. But for what I wanted to do, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. At that time, they didn't have things like a fader port 16. So you didn't, where now, if I was going to buy another kind of real big surface control, I would just buy a couple of fader port 16, daisy chain them together, and that'd be it. The mixer was way overkill for what I needed and ultimately didn't work out. But I think it's a great mixer. I'm not saying the mixer's not fantastic, but just have a real clear understanding of what you're really looking to do in your studio. Not just today, but what you may want to be doing a couple of years from now, and make sure that mixer can do what you want it to do before you pull the trigger, if you haven't already. Deer Creek Audio. Logitechs are great for smallish windows on screen capture just fine. Yeah, and that was what the majority of my stuff was, especially on my training courses, you know, little picture in picture, kind of like this thing. Yeah, we're up in the top corner or the bottom corner. When it's shrunk down, it's great. But when you try going, you know, to things like this or even bigger pictures, you know, bigger video like this, the Logitech doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like that at all. And I don't even have it as, you know, as we've been talking about, I don't even have it perfectly dialed in yet. But just out of the box and a couple of tweaks with a good lens, it already looks 10 times better than the Logitech does on bigger windows. But yeah, you're right though. For smaller stuff, it's fine. What's it say? Sweaty Spaghetti. What is your opinion? The best affordable compressor for any application. I feel like Studio One stock compressor is weak. Are you talking about a plugin or you're talking about hardware? I'm going to assume you're talking about a plugin because you said Studio One stock compressor and you're comparing it to a plugin. So what is my opinion on the best affordable compressor for any application? Well, I mean, again, you're asking for a real general broad stroke here. If you didn't like the stock compressor, because you felt it is weak, and you wanted a third-party compressor that can do multiple things and sound good on just about everything, but you want it to be somewhat affordable, I would tell you there's one of two ways you can go. The cheapest route is to buy something like the Waves CLA 76 compressors, which will give you the blackface 1176 and the blue stripe 1176. Again, you can find those all day long on Waves on sale for 25, 35 bucks. You use an 1176 blackface or a blue stripe, you can run that on anything. It'll sound good, just about. I don't think it sounds bad on anything. So that's a good choice. If you wanted something with a little bit more variety and you wanted a few different types of options, I would say go with something like the Slate Everything Bundle, where you get all their plugins for 15 bucks a month, and there's lots of different compressors in that pack that give you a wide variety of stuff. But if you're just looking for one single compressor, then I would say an 1176, and the most affordable one I know of is the Waves CLA 76. And that in and of itself will sound a lot better than just a stock compressor, in my opinion. I always got to say in my opinion because people get upset. Have I ever used the propeller head reason as a DAW? What are your thoughts about it? I've never used it. I have no thoughts about it because I've never used it. So I can't comment on something like that because I just don't know. Deer Creek Audio, remember that blurry backgrounds are cool, but us equipment nerds want to see the equipment. So watch the depth of field. Definitely brings attention to your face, though, in a good way. Well, I don't know. That's a matter of opinion, isn't it? If my face brings attention to my face is good or not. I hear you. But to be honest with you, part of the reason why the background is blurry too is because there's nothing back there that's really interesting to see. I don't have a really cool set behind me because this room is used for multiple purposes. I mean, you see a guitar back there because I was rehearsing a little earlier, but all that you would really see behind me is a Marshall cabinet. What else is back there if I'm looking? You'll see a couple of chairs, a couple of leather chairs, and the side of a big screen TV. There's nothing really interesting back there, and it's actually probably distracting. If I had a wall of amps or a row of guitars or something really cool to look at, or an equipment rack full of compressors or something, you're right, I would do that. But based on what I have back there, it's probably better that you don't see it because there's not much there to really look at. So I just don't have the because it's a multiple purpose used room, I don't have the ability to set up a set, as it were, where you see a lot of YouTubers that do these kinds of things. They have a set, they have something behind them that looks cool, looks interesting, and it always stays that way. This room is constantly changing and moving from day to day, from week to week, depending on what projects are going on. And so I don't really have that ability unless I really rearrange my whole workstation, which isn't happening. So, probably the less you see in the background, the better. Let's see. Sweaty Spaghetti says a plugin. Well, yeah, we talked about that, right? So you know what I think. Deer Creek says the Fat Channel is awesome in his opinion. Yeah, the Fat Channel is pretty good, Studio One. The 1176 and the free 1176 and the LA2A, pretty good, pretty good. They're paid plugins. The PreSonus paid compressor plugins are good too. I have, oh, by the way, Sweaty Spaghetti, I have YouTube video reviews on the entire line of Fat Channel plugins by PreSonus, both free and paid for. You can check out the archive, look under plugin reviews, or actually there's a playlist called PreSonus Fat Channel or something like that, and I have them all. Go check them out. That's another option for you. I guess I failed to really think of that, so I'm thankful for Deer Creek to bring that up. So cool, man. Thanks for that. Peace Valley Audio. Hey Mike, what's up, bro? Hey Dave, what's up tonight? No, I was just doing a quick last live stream gear test before Saturday's mixing tutorial. And so I just wanted to make sure everything was working, and as you can see on the screen, I've changed the look of the live stream a little bit, and I've added some different things and, trying to dress it up a little and do one more kind of a last camera kind of a test, and so people kind of jumping in, just asking questions. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're having a good day. Let's see. Martin asks, Cubase or Studio One, and why? I have both, but can't decide which one to invest my time with. Well, you know, oddly enough, Cubase and Studio One are very similar in the way they work. I've used Cubase for years. And a lot of people don't know, unless you've been around a while, that the original designers of the first version of Studio One, not just the first version, but a lot of the original design up until about version 3, version 3, was in part done by ex-Steinberg software engineers who actually designed Cubase. So there's a reason why Studio One is somewhat Cubase-ish, if you will. Got a lot of similar features. I don't use the new version of Cubase. I mean, I have it. I haven't used it in a while. I know they've improved things. I would say for me, Studio One, when I moved to Studio One from Cubase, Studio One was a little bit more intuitive, a little bit easier workflow. They had a lot of the nice features that I think now the newer versions of Cubase have. Things like drag and drop plugins. Those kinds of things weren't available in the earlier versions of Cubase when Studio One kind of hit the market. And now I know there are a lot of those similar features. So I guess if you had, what I will say, if you have about the same experience with both and you're looking, what is the deciding factor? I would tell you Studio One if for no other reason, because it has a much larger and more easily accessible user community for support. That is a fact. Cubase has one, but not nearly as much as Studio One as far as the different types of Facebook groups, the different forums, although I know they have Steinberg.net, which is a user community as well. I've used that in the past. There were some helpful people there, but it seems to me that Studio One has the largest community of people that are in the business of helping others, especially new people to the platform, whether you're coming from another DAW or whether you are brand new to the recording and digital recording world. You know, there's lots of guys out there that make tons of videos on how to just use the basic functions of Studio One. I have an entire free playlist on my YouTube channel called Studio One Beginner's Guide, which is like 15 videos on how to just get up and running in Studio One. Not to mention I got a bunch of paid courses around Studio One as well. So if you're looking for support or a better support system, I would say Studio One. From a functionality standpoint, you know, is Studio One a better recording DAW than Cubase? I don't know. I got it. All these DAWs do pretty much the same thing. They just all do them a little bit differently. There might be a few subtle differences that one might be stronger than another. From what I use it for, from a mixing perspective and a recording perspective, there's probably not a whole hell of a lot of difference, but I'm so familiar with Studio One now that that's what I would recommend. But Cubase is a great DAW too. Again, I'm just not too familiar with the later versions, the newest versions of it. So I wouldn't say that's a terrible DAW. It's not. But I would lean you towards Studio One, especially if you're new to recording. Just because, again, for the support, if for no other reason. There's probably 6 or 8 guys in this room alone that I know, because I see them all the time in all the different forums and on the different Facebook groups that are helping people all the time. So you have a good support staff or community. Hope that helps. Peace Valley Audio. Mike says, I got that email. I'm looking forward to it. Off from work this weekend. Oh, cool, man. Great. I'm glad you're off and you can hang out for a bit. That'll be fun. It'll be Saturday night. We'll do it. And we're going to mix, a little earlier I showed a preview of the song we're going to kind of mix. And we're going to just do it over like maybe a 3 or 4 week period. We'll mix drums on Saturday, do a Q&A, talk about drums. Next week we'll do bass and guitars. And the following week we'll do keyboards and vocals. And then we'll do a week of parallel compression, reverbs, delays, spice it up, make it sound good, that kind of a thing. So we'll run it over maybe a 3-4 week period. You know, break it down into small digestible chunks so I'm not mixing an entire song in one night because no one's going to sit through that. So, hope that's cool. Martin says, thank you. Good answer. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome, Martin. Good luck, man. If again, you need any help, just go to Facebook and search PreSonus Studio One and there's a billion people willing to help you. Me as well. So you're there. Look at this. We're here about an hour now. How's the stream holding up? Let me look. Yep, stream's looking pretty good. Chat room still on the screen. So that's kind of cool. It's working. Any other questions? And then I'm going to head out because I'm here a little bit longer than I said I originally wanted to be here. And I'm glad everybody kind of just stopped in to say hey. I'm glad that the live stream is working and the sound looks good and the picture looks better. I'm going to say better. I'm not 100% happy. I'll tell you when I'm 100% happy. Not yet, but we're getting there. And yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully this weekly live stream will turn into something that people actually show up to and follow most weeks. One of the things I always worry about when you do live streams, especially if you do them too frequently, you end up with 5 people every week, and it really becomes it doesn't really justify the time to spend unless we're going to get some participation. So I'm hoping over the next 4 weeks as this experiment that people actually come to the live stream and check it out, and interact and learn something. That's the hope. And that's it, man. All right, so I am going to kind of head out. Again, thanks so much for stopping by and working on my, helping me work on my my last minute test. So again, Saturday, I think it's the 23rd, 6 p.m. Eastern. Come back to this same page that you're at now. We'll jump into a song and we'll mix and we'll answer some questions and we'll hang together. And until then, I will see you guys soon. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.